How can you see what's happening in the market auction? How can you see what's happening in the market auction? How can you see what's happening in the market auction? 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 Okay. I think we're good now with sound. All right. What's happening in the market auction? Okay. I think we're good now with sound. All right. So anyway, welcome to the webinar in the market auction. And let's jump in here. We're going to go through order flow analysis here, and I want to introduce you to more details about this market pulse tool that we're just launching, because we're going to give a lot of people, we're going to give free access to it for a bit here. And I'll talk more about that. You need to be part of the Bookmap Academy, which is, I'll talk more about that program in here. That's what we do for the Academy, is we give kind of access to tools before they come out, so that you guys can play around with it and edge is the idea. Good morning, Deborah. All right. Yikes, off to a bad start. Anyway, we'll get started here. General disclosure: all Bookmap Ltd materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in here. Let's take a look. We can look at any market you guys want. Right now, we're looking at the S&P, and some fantastic order flow right off the bat here. You can see high liquidity in here over the London session here. Beginning of the London session. Here's 3 a.m. East Coast time. And we see this move into high liquidity down here, and a nice move out of that area. And then look at this in here, guys. I mean, this is something that we don't usually see too often so clearly on a higher time frame. This pattern in here in order flow, we see all the time. We just don't see it on this time frame so clear. That's why, like, we talk about these markets as being fractal all the time, and this is another demonstration of that fractal nature. So what we have is high liquidity that was filled down below here. We see the buyers come in and start to move this market. Hold on a minute, got another add-on to dot side. There we go. Okay. Anyway, the buyers start coming in just around this 4:45 time, East Coast, and look at the sellers up in here. They get out of the way. Look at the buyer over here. Now this is one individual actor here, but very, very high liquidity, and then showing that high liquidity as it stair steps higher. They actually did transact and trade right into it right here, and there was still a little bit more supply. Price was able to go a little bit lower here through that demand of limit buy orders, and then we see it reverse though, or continue basically, and we're looking for the next levels of high liquidity. This is very typical as well. You can see that traders are starting to show that longer term liquidity in front of some of these areas here, and then they get out of the way at the last minute. Now, we didn't trade up into the 68 level up in here in that high liquidity. We kind of bounce around and go back and forth, and then finally do here at the cash open. And now the cash open's been very volatile, and try to read this in here. Well, we will, but it is very back and forth, almost as you can see, like equal highs and equal lows in here. right? But what we want to read in here is going to be the volume. We're also going to read the order book and start to understand who's in control of this market or potentially in control, and go through a few scenarios. You know, you can just take a very quick look here at cumulative volume delta, for example, and start to ascertain, are there more buyers or sellers in here? Okay, in this range in here. We can also use the order book and balance in here and some other add-ons as well. All right, and what is the volume in here? We're just talking about the volume. In fact, let's take the heat map off here and dim it. Well, we can see that there's quite a bit of selling in here, but you know, the buying in here is relatively equal. We come right back up into these areas as well. So we're trying to really gain some insight in here and using CVD, and I'm really not seeing much, to be honest. Let's try another way then. We're going to take this 930 data here, put this within our range, and we're going to look at our imbalance indicators up here and volume imbalance. Well, it's at 0, right? So we're not getting any insight actually from all the traded activity. Now, that said, that's for this entire range. Okay, and let's look at the profile here and try to gain some insight here. Well, we have a double distribution here, and let's take a look and maybe see if what about recent activity here? Okay, well, quite a bit of buying in here, right? So we can look at it now. Now we have something to kind of chew on or dig into, and that is this buying here. This buying in here is, well, they're in control of this move at this point from here onward. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe in here. But looks pretty good. This is where it broke out from, and looking for it to see if we remain here or if sellers come in and break it down and then trade back down into this 4260 level. Okay, so we're going to go through a few different scenarios in here. A breakout, or a breakdown of this little range in here. Okay, so we know there's more buyers than sellers in here. Now, what about the sellers? Well, the sellers are down here, actually, right? You can see that pretty clearly. So that's where you're getting this kind of double distribution in your profile as well. You can even take it back quite a bit further. You can see buyers in here and sellers in here, right? So now we're going to look for and see if we get sellers that want to break the range and try to trade back down to this 4260, or are we going to see maybe a bounce out of that area back up into this high liquidity up here around this 4276 or so. And this can set the tone for the day here, potentially, because there is a lot of wound up volume in here, a lot of back and forth in here. And whoever gets it right there's going to be a lot of people that get it wrong, and they're going to have to cover. So that's what we want to read, and we want to understand who's actually getting it wrong, and then look for the pressure to be on them to cover and be compelled to buy or sell. Okay, so short squeeze or long squeeze is what we're looking for. Back 412. Good morning. All right, so let's jump over here. Let's see if there's in the chat, guys. Stan, Rob, slow down. Good morning. And yeah, slow down. So I'm sorry I didn't meet with you yesterday. I would love to meet with you this afternoon though. Maybe a half an hour after the webinar. That's okay. yeah, we'll this is what I want to discuss. So tomorrow we're going to have a tomorrow at the market close. We're going to have a Bookmap Academy meeting, and we're going to go through trade reviews and mentorship coaching of your trading activity if you're a part of the program. Okay, so let me describe the program quickly. So if you're interested, you can join. It might be a little late to get some content, but maybe not. If the content is good, we can cover it. But this is the program here. You'll sign up via this page. I'll show you where in just a second. What you do is you sign up for the Bookmap Junior Academy, but you apply first. You're an applicant. And then you start creating some content. You start journalizing your trading activity in Bookmap. You start to show order flow phenomena. So you will become an expert in reading order flow, and also enhance your trading strategies by documenting them, journalizing them via images or video, mostly images. And then if the content is good, then you'll be invited. We'll give you feedback on that content. If it's good, then we'll invite you to the Bookmap Junior Academy. And then that's a proving ground here. So what you need to do in Junior Academy is you'll need to make a quota of content. It's just one per day, and that's all we're asking. So the content has to be good, of high quality, and just meet that threshold of one per day. And then if you meet that quota, then you can be invited to the Bookmap Academy. That's the next step 2 here. And then what you get there, you can get Bookmap for free. You can get the add-ons for free, double that quota, like the MBO bundle. This is a really nice savings, right? So we're trying to create better traders out of this process here. If you're interested, and then we're happy that you're becoming a better trader, and you'll be helping others with the content, and we're happy to give you Bookmap at that point. Now the process continues. The next level here is become a Bookmap Academy coach. What you will be doing is the same thing as you were always, creating the content, but you will also be reaching out to people in step 1 here, the applicants and the Junior Academy members, and giving them feedback, guiding them, looking at, maybe have you considered looking at this? Have you, this is not correct, or maybe you want to move your stop, widen them out or something like that, just to give some feedback and coaching and mentoring. And we have a handful of coaches already. Okay, so we have Jack, we have Stan, and we have Slowdown. And then also I'll be giving some feedback as well. All right, so if you do that, not only we get Bookmap and the add-ons for free, but you can also get data for free. Okay, and then the next final step after that is Bookmap Academy Streamer, and you will be invited to stream if you do that, and then you'll get additional incentives as well. Okay, so we have 3 streamers that already do this. We have Tom B, Doug Pless, and Moby. So anyway, that's the program. Let me show you where you sign up for it. Okay, just scroll down a little bit further. It's right here. Sign up, apply now, and we'll have the meeting tomorrow in Discord at the market close at 4 p.m. East Coast time. We're going to give you access to Market Pulse and all the algos in there. So that's another added benefit, as I had mentioned in here with this academy. One of the things that you get here is access of pre-released new products. so that you can play around with them and start to build an edge before others. All right. Okay, so yeah, sign up for that, and we'll see you tomorrow. And we're going to go over some trade reviews, etc. All right, so let's go back to the order flow here. All right, so you can see that we dip down below this area and look at the rejection here, and the buyers start to come in. Okay, back up into this high liquidity in here. This is looking beautiful for an extension here. I'm looking for right now. Let's see if we can get more buyers in here, up at this area, and then extend on up through these areas in here. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for right now based on the order flow. This is pretty strong volume in here, and there's still more buying in here. So into this high liquidity, and I'm still seeing buyers. Right, so now we're just looking for a skew in the order book, and we can see a little bit of it right here at 74. See that 42.74 liquidity that just came in? Okay, what's the reaction in here? Let's just zoom in a little bit closer here. What do we see more here on the bid? What's the reaction? Okay, are they pulling on the offer? No, not really. Actually, they're adding more liquidity in here, right? So that's not what we want to see. We want to see them pulling so that it's easier for these buyers to quickly price through that area. Okay, see how they're actually adding in here? Right, so that takes away from this being more of a probable event. Okay, starting to pull a little bit here now. Not much though. It's not really that noteworthy. Right, so now our assessment in here. Yeah, I'm still kind of looking for this to play out. However, this is not it's not the high probability setup that we're, right? Okay, so they just traded into this 77.5 here, and we're sitting on our hands in this one here, right? Because this didn't have all the pieces that we were looking for in the order. Okay, it looks really good here. Strong move, very strong volume up in here. And then you can see some exhaustion here and some back and forth, but we're getting more buyers again. And that looks really good. We just didn't have the order book going along with it. If we have the order book going along with it, it is more likely to trade up into these areas. And it still may. And that scenario might unfold again here. Right? So we can go through the steps in here. Again, what are we looking for in the order flow? Okay, now it's starting to work out. Okay, now did we have the order book on our side? Not really either. So it's moving, it's going higher, but we didn't have all the pieces in here. All right, so again, I would miss it because if I need to see this confirmation from the other traders in that this really wants to go higher here, that these traders over here, I want to see them say, oh, I don't want to tangle with that momentum. That's what I'm looking for. And they're not doing that, right? They're staying in the order book here. And I want to see on this side in here, I want to see traders bid up at a higher level and chase this market, thinking that they're going to miss it. And I want to see these green dots pull that market away and continue on higher, right? So we missed it, okay? And for good reason, right? So now we're back down at the bottom of this range. This is a false breakout, okay, up into this 80 level. And now let's see if we can see the sellers pound it lower down to this swing here. It is 73 level. We've already gotten down to this swing here at 74.75. So guys, let me know if you have any questions about that Bookmap Academy. It's a great program that we have for you. Yeah, take advantage of it, sign up, and then you'll need to go into our Discord channel and request a spreadsheet there. we need to have you both in. You need to capture your email as well as your Discord. All right. Stan, you're looking at the 6E. Okay. Guys, this is what we're talking about in here. Here's, like, for example, Stan has made it into the Bookmap Academy. He's also a moderator over here, but he gets Bookmap for free. Because he has created really good content like this that is helping others. And this has helped his trading. That's the most important part, right? That this is helping your trading by documenting it and going through it again and again and again. Right, so here, absorption followed by exhaustion. A beautiful double top pattern in here. Looking for sellers to try to come in and then maybe drive it back down into these lower areas here. Okay. I don't know if this played out or not. Yeah, and need to have some more sellers here for sure for this. But this up here looks really good. I just don't see the sellers here stand just like you're pointing to. If they can get below, especially this buying in here, then we should get a nice move, right? And then also no liquidity on the offer in here, just like we're going through right now. Beautiful stuff. Thanks, Stan. All right. Anyway, we're going to go through that. Let's go through this process again in here. And what we're looking for in the order flow is multiple elements. And this is why documenting your trades will help you identify these elements, and then you'll have something higher probability. Okay? And you'll back test this. Did I have all these elements? It'll be a checklist. Okay. Did you see the tremendous buy volume go to a higher high? Did we get a slight pullback in here? Do we see more buyers starting to come in at higher areas? Yes, we got all of those, but we didn't have this one here. That this liquidity up in here, we want to target it, and we're looking for maybe potentially a measured move that might be equal to this strong move here by the buyers, and that would be a flag pattern in. But we don't have all of the pieces in here, so we're going to stay away, even though we're still kind of looking for it to go higher, right? Why put the risk on if we're unsure? Okay, that's not a trading plan. All right. Let's clear the drawings. And I also want to show you guys, since we're going to give you access to Market Pulse tomorrow, and it's going to be, you'll get access to all of them for free as part of the Bookmap Academy. Right, so that just for that alone is worth it. I want to cover these new tools in here. We covered the volume pressure pretty nicely the other day for you guys, and yeah, we're going to go over some new ones though as well that are in beta. So yeah, here's the move lower, right? I mean, it didn't do it when we thought it may do it right here or here, but it is doing it now here. Now, I'm really watching this carefully though. I mean, this was some pretty strong volume on the sell side. Okay, that looks good. But I want to see consistent strong volume from here on down. And I really don't see that. Right? I can see it in the bars in here. Some sellers here, right? Here come some sellers right now again. All right, well then sellers should be able to drop it back down to 74 here. Okay. So, just we have the sellers here on our side now, but from where though? It's more from this area here is where the majority of that selling is, not from up here so much. Yeah, there's sellers for sure, but it's pretty weak up here, right? So I'd make a distinction between that selling here, and say that this is pretty weak in here. This is where the strong selling is in here. Now that can be upended is what I want to get to. And then we can get buyers on the other side of this. And if we do, like we are now, all right, then I'm looking for buyers to take it back up to here. Okay. Here we go. I can't keep up with the stream. Right. And there it is, up into 78 and a quarter or a half. Now, if that's what we're looking for, and we cover this trade all the time in here, that this is this kind of false breakdown or false breakout like we were looking at earlier, and then the move to the other side of the range. Okay, so we get another one. We thought maybe in here, maybe here, because here's strong selling. Here's starting to be strong selling again, but let's look out. What if we get back up above here, right? The squeeze is on. Okay, the short squeeze here. Now, do we still have the other pieces in here? Well, some of this liquidity starting to pull. This looks a little bit better, but we don't really have much again on the bid here. Okay, see them pulling here? All right, so buyers should be able to take it higher now, and trade into these guys here at this 81 and 3/4 or 80 and 3/4, and then maybe they can get up also here into 83. Okay, now again, do we have all the pieces here? No, don't. Right, the bid is starting to show a little more interest in here, and they're pulling in here. That's a good thing on our side, is this pulling in here. That we liked, and that adds to the probability of it going higher, but it's still just not that great. It's just not. Okay, we don't have them on the bid here. Okay, now they're drying up here, so watch, sellers should probably take it back down to about here, 78 and a half. Oh, still able to squeeze this a little bit higher. And the bid's starting to show a little bit of interest in here. All right. Anyway, guys, so what I was talking about earlier in the day, see what we're talking about. This is it on the higher time frame. Is really pretty. So this was from 5 to 6:30 a.m. this morning. See how they're pulling in some of these areas in here? They kind of stayed in here a little bit. They also pulled in here as well. And see this guy, or this is one individual actor pulling liquidity and adding it higher. And we're getting some buyers in here. Not a whole lot in this little area here, but a little bit in here and some in here. Looking for it to trade up into these areas. All right, and then finally we get the exhaustion in here. It tried, no buyers, and then sellers stream back down and trade into this this buyer down here. Get the continuation of the pattern here. But this is exactly what we're looking for right now over in this activity. We just didn't have all those pieces. Right, so it's really been back and forth. Well, Deborah, I'm not going to say like what you need to see before you take a trade, and it sounds like a cop out. It's not. You need to see it before taking the, and you need to look at it, and we can go through it again though, right? And Deborah, we're going to launch it tomorrow. I'll have some materials for you, like I promised, for forever. We're building out a setups and strategies section. Right? So There's one that will launch tomorrow, and it will go into more detail about exactly what to look for. Right, it'll be perfect for you, right? And we'll have many of those, right? At least 3, like a continuation, reversal, and kind of sideways action, and then but really from those 3 you can develop any strategy. So that's why we're going to start with. Anyway, there'll be more details on that. So look for it in the email as and announcements. It's also going to be a part of the Academy meeting tomorrow. Talk about it. Right. All right. So anyway, guys, like yeah, we're looking for certain things to kind of unfold. Like they did. This one did not down here, but then we kind of reversed or looked at, well, what if in that scenario, and that's so important to do. That's one of the things to do in the checklist, Deborah, and that's why we go through these scenarios. What if? Okay. So like right now, we can even draw. You can even see that this is still holding here, true, in this sense here, that this is an important line here at this 76 level. In a bounce, do we find buyers? Do these buyers still support this price at this level, or are they going to get out of the way? Well, let's zoom in here and let's take a look. All right, well, look at the offer coming down here with more liquidity. Okay, well, that's not what we want to see if it's going to bounce and go higher, right? We want to see the opposite. And look at these guys here. It's kind of thin here. They're staying in the order book, but it's kind of thin. And the liquidity is down a little bit lower here. So now we're looking for the scenario of exhaustion here on the buy side, sellers in here, and then for the sellers to drop it into this liquidity down here. Okay. Now this is kind of an important line in this time frame here at the 76 level. To go through that process and didn't understand. All right, well, this is kind of interesting. We're getting buyers kind of interested, and even though there wasn't too much in the order book, now there is a little bit here. So let's see if the buyers can continue, and let's see if they can reach up into this 79 and 80 level. No, they can't. Right? It's just really back and forth in here. Anyway, Deborah, is these types of things you really want to kind of focus on, like here on this higher time frame. Pulling liquidity, buyers coming in on the bid at higher levels in here, but not getting too many sellers in here. Look at the sellers compared to the buyers. Right? So we're just looking for them to pull it up into these targets of high liquidity. Right? And then you reassess after that. Right? You're looking for that liquidity to transact. And then is there more buying pressure, more demand at these higher levels? And there wasn't. And the market told us that here. Told us that over here. It tried several times, at least 3 on this time frame here. But if we zoom in closer, it's more. And we didn't get buyers up in here. Got this pullback. Right? Come back up again, and we do get those buyers. Get the continuation. Again, just reading the behavior of the traders in here. This is the market microstructure or mechanics in here. This is the market mechanics of it all. Look at this here. Again, pulling up here. Okay, what about the bid? Not really. Not really. Doesn't look so good. Okay, so are we looking for this to break out? No. Okay, volume looks good. They're pulling here. Those are 2 elements, but we don't have the 3rd. So we'll stay away. Okay. And if we miss it, so what? No, that's not our setup. We want to see all of the traders give us some sort of insight in here. Another thing to look for, as we've talked about many times, is trap sellers. What's that look like in here? It's not bad, actually. This looks better now. All right, buyers, let's see the squeeze here, and I'm looking for a stop run up into these levels here. Oh, this may be aggressive. Okay, yeah, we got the bid here. Just need a few more buyers, and let's see if we can get up here. This guy's being kind of stubborn. Oh, he's actually getting out of the way some. All right, so let's see it, buyers, and let's see if you can lift it here. Go. Okay, see how, like, okay, it's okay. Maybe we got lucky, you know. We never know. This is the thing. Never know what's going to happen. Some seller could have come in. We've seen it so many times when some big seller comes in here and says, like, no, I want to sell, and they just drive it right back down to the bottom of the range very, very quickly, right? But and that does happen. However, we were reading the pieces in here and we had them now. It looked better. They're pulling here. We're getting buyers. We identified also the sellers in here. So we're looking for a squeeze and a stop run. Now let's see, did we get our stop run? Let's take a look. Here's our stop run. It actually, the stop run actually took place up into 82, above the swing here. Right? But we're looking at where the sellers are and who's going to get squeezed, and where would they be compelled to buy, become buyers, to exit their position. Found them here. Then we had a skew in the order book, and the reaction to that skew in the order book in here was buyers. So we're looking for it to go higher. All right, so let's go through that one more time. Okay. First off, let's identify the trap. Then we're looking for the buyers to start to come in. We're looking for this liquidity to, okay, and we had that in here, but we still didn't have the order book here on our side. It really wasn't until here that we got that. Okay, and then your entry would be up in here someplace. Now that's pretty bad, right? But did it even go against you? No. Maybe a tick or two. Maybe, but that's probably not. Okay? But if we have these pieces, then we're looking for that volume pressure to take this higher. Okay? And we identify, this is another really critical element here. Don't disregard this, the trap sellers. Still going. There's 3. Okay, look, it's 85 liquidity. Probably going to see it slow down a little bit in here, but we'll see. 84 is the next stop. Deborah, I can't wait until and get your feedback on what we're going to release tomorrow, okay, with strategies and setups. I think it'll be clearer. All right, guys, one of the things I wanted to do in this webinar here was can you use the same Bookmap account on 2 different computers? Sonic, what you can do is you can have Bookmap installed on as many machines as you like, but only one concurrent version of Bookmap running. That's it. Okay. If you want 2 current versions of Bookmap, you will need to subscribe twice. All right. Or there's another way to do it actually. It would still be 2 subscriptions, but you could go over to Thinkorswim as well, and do that. One for streaming, one for trading. Well, if it's on 2 different machines, and you want to trade off of Bookmap, yeah, you would need 2 different subscriptions. If it's the same machine, I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can, and you have multiple monitors. All right. So anyway, let's go through these. Continue on with this market pulse. I want to cover these for you guys so that when you have access tomorrow, you have a reference to go back and watch here. All right, so let's dig in, and I'll give you access to it. You know, if you sign up for that Bookmap Academy, we'll get your license key, and then we'll be able to give you that free access. You will need to come in and remove the sweeps, absorption, and your previous market pulse tool. You'll use the remove tool here from the manage add-ons or configure add-on section here. Right. Then once you have that removed, you'll need to download. Click on the download links that we'll provide you, and then you'll add the sweeps, absorption, and market pulse tool here. Okay, via the add button. Okay, not from the manage add-ons. It'll come from the add button, right? Since it's in beta right now, and we're going to give you access to that beta. All right. So, and then we'll talk about the absorption and sweeps indicator. Why you need a new one of these as well in just a second. All right. So now once you've got market pulse up, then you can start creating some of your widgets in here. In fact, let's just do that from scratch. So you click on market pulse here, and then you're going to click on create, and then it pops up here, and then you'll select what algo you want here from the drop down, and you will have access to all of these in here. So this is a really nice offering in here. Go and check it out. Sign up from the for the academy in here, and then you'll get access to all of these and play around with them. All right, we're going to play around with them right now, and then once you select the algo that you want, okay. So we'll start with. I'm going to go with volume pressure, and then now you select the instrument you want over here. Okay, the algo first, the instrument next, and then this is a new feature in here as well. Is that you can add multiple instruments into one little widget. So this was highly requested by Scott Pulcini and others. Like for example, suppose you're trading the NQ, futures. Well, and you have stocks that you're looking at as well. Okay. Well, let's look at the stocks in here that are important. Okay, so very simply, let's take a look here at FinViz. All right. So the FinViz heat map over here, a different kind of heat map, but let's take a look at this. Okay, what's going on in here? Well, these are the big players here: Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla. Right? Look at the market cap. This is all by hierarchy in here. Okay? The market cap. Right? So we can create this market pulse add-on for volume pressure based off of Amazon, Nvidia. We can include Facebook, but let's go with Tesla and Google. And where's Apple? Got to get Apple in. Okay, and I don't have Microsoft. You can add it. In fact, let's just cancel this and we'll add Microsoft here. Okay. Go, and then let's go again in here. Right? Add Microsoft. Okay. Get rid of Bitcoin. All right, so now this volume pressure is going to give me the volume pressure of all of these here. And let's click play. At threshold 70, and we'll down the sound here. And it's opening the add-on here. It's going to take a minute here because it's got to add all of these together. And let's close this. Okay, so now what does this allow you to do? This allows you to now correlations in your trading without having to look at a different monitor or a different chart. So you're going to look for when is volume starting to pick up. Well, here we go. Here's our widget here. Okay, and you can see it's in the millions here. Anyway, we're looking for insight here based on the settings of the last 5 minutes of data. And we have a half-life period in here, but the last 5 minutes of data when it crosses this 70% threshold. Okay, and when it does, these are market bellwether stocks that should be leading the indexes. Okay, so we're going to try to look for some additional insight from these players in here, these correlated markets. All right, so yeah, here's our move up into this 83, the pullback almost all the way down. Well, now it's all the way down almost to about this 75 level or 76. Okay, and I'm not getting anything here from Market Pulse at the moment. Okay, so it's not telling me that the markets are ready to move to the downside. Okay, well, that alone might be enough as well. Look, this is up to you. Like if you're not seeing any kind of action in here and you're the bottom of this range in here, and you can note that maybe there's some trapped volume in here, like in here, let's suppose, okay, then you can go through that scenario of trading it to the other side of the range, okay, of buyers coming in back up to the top of this little range, or this one here, okay, or if there's enough, they go up to here. All right, let's see if we get it here, right? Because we didn't get a lot of sellers here from the correlated markets. Okay, so we're looking for a range-bound trade potentially here. Okay, do we get our scenario? Are the buyers coming in? Yeah, starting to. What about the order book? What is the order book telling us? Well, not much, right? That's actually not bad for a range-bound trade. If the order book isn't telling us much in here, we're just looking for it to float back up to the top of the range here, and that's your trade idea. Okay, and take some profit off. Right, see how it's kind of dark in here? So it's just kind of prices floating around, and the markets here are kind of quiet, right? We know that from this little widget here. I love this feature. If you guys can't tell, and then manage your trade accordingly, right? Like, are you, did you get in here? Did you take some off maybe up in here, or did you get stopped out of break even? You gave it a shot, and you're not willing to give it more. Okay, now sellers are starting to come in on all these indexes here. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, what about the S&P? I don't really see too many sellers here. Okay, well, let's see. Now we might get them here now, and then we might get the drop into 73. And that happened really quickly. Okay, but there we go. See how this was a leading indicator in here. Okay, now we didn't have the pieces in here to take that trade. Okay, so going back to Deborah's question about what are the pieces in here? Well, we didn't really have it. Okay, we came down here and we heard the market. Let's go back to it here. We heard the market pulse in here giving us some insight, but we didn't have anything in the order book in here until we got over here, and the move is already gone. Right, so we would miss that according to the order book in here. We would be looking for it in the confluence here or the correlation. All right, so then it's up to you to kind of weight that strength in here and for you to back test it. Well, is it okay to take it if you don't see it in the order book in here? If you don't see the offer at a lower level, they were pulling here, so you did have that. No question about that. They were pulling on the bid. We just didn't have an order book and balance in here until it was too late. Okay, but we started to hear market pulse in this area, and we can go back and verify that as well. And look at the big stop run here. We can go back and verify it very, very easily here by looking at the oh, I can't add it. Right. Okay. Yeah, I can't add it in the subchart here because it's multiple instruments. It's a synthetic instrument here. All right, what we could do though is just add the volume pressure, create a new one, volume pressure, and S&P, and put play. And we can play off of both of these in here. Now let's take a look here. Let's see. We'll see here. We'll get the output and market pulse. Take stops off from. Still look. Okay. So did market pulse tell us anything? Not really. Not in the S&P. Okay, we have, you know, sellers hitting here, buyers hitting here, buyers hitting here, sellers starting to hit in here. So yeah, I guess, you know, it's here. Yeah, I guess you could add that in. That's about when we were, maybe we were looking for it in here or maybe in here. Once we started to see the sellers at the bottom area here, bottom of this range, they're pulling. We just didn't have the order book. Heard the market pulse. This was a leading indicator there for all of these stocks combined together. Did get that insight. Okay, over on YouTube you can hear it. You can't hear it in Discord though. Okay, look at this. Okay, buyers starting to come in. All right. Well, then, you know, this is across all of these stocks in here. Well, then we can look for the S&P to trade right up to 77 here. High volume node. Okay, they're pulling on the offer. Great. Let's see this buying continue in the stock indexes and up into 77. Okay, the bid starting to show some interest now, and there's our 77. So again, leading indicator here. And they're still buying. All right, well, what about the other side of the range then? 79. Okay, there's a pullback. Let's see. Get more buyers. Gotta get more buyers. Let's see if we can get up to 79. No, nothing here. Pretty dead. I'd stay away from it. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Deborah, is that making sense to you? Yeah, what's the outlook for NASDAQ? Well, this would probably be a better correlation for NASDAQ, right? Okay, well, let's go check it out. Create a new one in here for NASDAQ. Okay. In fact, let's look at volume and balance this time. Oh, good. Okay. Well, Deborah, that just you know, really small steps in here, and look for these elements. If you don't have them, don't take the trade. Okay. Now, again, I know you're trading in demo or in sim, and that's very good because this is not a trading room. This is more about giving you ideas to go back and then test, and then make this into a trading plan for yourself. Okay, so and then answer these questions for yourself. It's critical. I mean, that's all we can do in here. Okay, and if you want to shadow somebody, then you're not going to learn, but maybe you can make some money. I mean, I recall doing it years ago, like for paid services, and I always thought it was difficult because by the time the person says that they're in the trade and they're looking for it to go there, it's already there. All right, so we got a different one here, which is volume and balance. So volume, pressure, and balance for NASDAQ. So let's jump over to the NASDAQ. Let's take a look here. Okay, so now we can look at these two. The S&P is in the middle here, but we really want to take a look at these two: the NASDAQ volume, pressure, and balance, and these NASDAQ stocks, bellwether stocks here. Okay, nothing. It's looking pretty sloppy in here at the moment. Okay, so just really back and forth. Let's see if we can get buyers and trade it right back up to about here, 55 or 57. Okay, since this is range bound right here. Right, we're not getting anything right now, so looking for this. We know there's going to be a reaction up in here. Let's see if we can get back up in here. You see buyers starting to come in. Can they lift it up into the top of the range? Okay. Do we have any idea for that? Well, just some of these buyers in here. The order book's not really telling us too much. The market pulse is not telling us much at all either at the moment. All right. So now the volume and balance here is it's great. I mean, it's very simple. It's just one algo or I'm sorry, one line in here, and then the thresholds are 70. It's just buy minus sell in here, and then it's just giving the delta of the volume pressure. The output is just different, but it's a little simpler. Okay? And then down here in the subchart, we can look at it as well. And when it crosses these areas of 70%, you can see that at the peak here, there's more buyers. Down here, there's more sellers. Right, so down here we see lots of selling, and then that was the low here, and then we get back up into here and we see the peak up here. See, this is what I was showing you, Rob, before. Here's the peak. It's actually here, but price did go higher, and you still see that this almost made it up to 70% in here. So let's adjust this then. Okay, let's adjust the 70% to maybe 60. Let's go to 60. Okay, there we go. Now you're hearing it in YouTube. All right, so sellers down to the bottom of the range in here. Okay, nothing here in the correlations at the moment. All right, there we go. It's a little, that was a little late. That would be too hard to tell. Yeah. All right, well, let's see here though. Maybe we can look for the potential reversal here, or range bound move back up. Okay, yeah, here they come on the stocks. All right, so let's see if we can get right back up here to 850 in the NASDAQ. Okay, based off of trying to get back up above here, and based off of this volume pressure in here in market pulse. Okay, see this? Hear it. Okay, looking for buyers to try to push it back up to the top of the range. Okay, after a big stop run here. I know this is going to be a stop run. Not as big as I thought. Okay. Now note the pressure is starting to dry up in here. Okay. So this is a leading indicator in here. Okay. So if you're not hearing or seeing what you like, order flow, and you're not getting that correlation, maybe it's time to exit your trade. Okay. You might be giving up some, but you're also going to take something. if you are looking for this move. You can always get back in as well. All right, anyway, let's cover the other ones in here. I want to show you the some of the other algos in here. So I'm gonna close all of these here. All right, and then let's jump back to the S&P, and then let's clear our drawings, and let me quickly kind of rifle through these for you guys, and we'll delete all of them here. All right, and we'll start again, and we'll click on create, and we can do it on absorption pressure in here. Right, that's the top one here. Let's choose that one and click create. All right, now you will need to have, like I was showing you earlier, you will need to download and install the new absorption and sweeps indicator if you want this. Okay, and then here we go. All right, so what is this showing? Well, in here, it's going to show buying absorption down in this area in here. Okay, and we can verify it by looking at the heat map as well. See the absorption right here. Okay, that's what the absorption indicator can do. Right, it's based off of 5 minutes now of data sliding, which means just always a concurrent 5 minutes of data with a half life or pullback of, like, every 10 seconds, back half that value. So we're going to look at areas where there's a lot of absorption. Okay, now let's try to make a plan out of this, though. We go back and take a look at this. How does this help us here? Well, here's high absorption, and we reverse back out. Okay, here's high absorption again, and we reverse back out. Here's high absorption again, and we reverse back out. Okay, so now here's another way of looking at this, because this is tricky here to look for that kind of mean reversion in a downtrend here. It is trending down now. All right, so let's take a look at reading this a couple of different ways. Yeah, if it looks really good and you see those buyers start to come in, you can look for the move back up here. Conversely, you can look for the downtrend move. Maybe you get some absorption in here, but you likely get not too much activity. You do see some buying in here, but typically you'll get exhaustion up here. Right, so you're not looking for anything from the absorption indicator. In fact, you're looking for getting involved when you see the sellers come in, and then you're looking for absorption on the buy side down in here, in this area here, to exit, because it seems to reverse after being absorbed. Okay, so let's suppose you're in this trade right now from, I don't know, somewhere up in here. Right, or even here. You can even say here, you're looking for those sellers to come in and all right. So now you're looking for the play to exit down here after absorption, or either here or down to here, or whenever you start to hear the absorption on the buy side. Okay, and it's likely going to be here at 70. Okay, now this player is coming in here at 71, so it's going to probably scare the market a little. Right, makes sense. So this is how you can use, these are some use case scenarios to consider how to use this tool here. Okay, so you'd still be in this, you're not shaken out of this trade yet, okay, until you get absorption, right? Because you back tested it. This is what I mean, Rob. You back tested it with these examples here. And what I like about the back testing is just so clean and clear. Like, it's just a signal here or an output here, and then look at the price action. Okay, and then do that again and again and again, and then you really need to get into the measurements in here, but you can back test this. Okay, and then you can develop a plan. Right, now your plan in here would have been to wait for absorption on the buy side. And now it just came shy of this area. Never traded into it a little bit here, but we never got it, right? So you could still be in this, right? You could have your stop at break even, and you're just waiting for this to play out until you get absorption. There's some right there, right? Is that enough? No, I don't know. You know, that according to the plan, you take some profit then. Okay? Or are you looking for something you really think you see the sellers in here, you have the order flow on your side, maybe you're looking for a really big absorption down into like 70 or even lower, a 68. Okay? So anyway, if you did get out here because you saw some absorption in here, okay, which would have been this absorption right in here, which is likely, this is likely an iceberg. If we can verify that. Yeah, and it is. Here's a blue line. This is an iceberg. This is where this absorption indicator can be really good because we don't see it trading into high liquidity. And we know, well, something's up. It must be an iceberg. And it is. Right? So the absorption indicator gave you some insight there, as well as stops or iceberg. Right? So, and that's not a bad area here. You took profit here. Why not? I mean, like this is the plan, and you know, if you're looking for something bigger in here due to the order flow, then that's and then that's your plan. Just try to be consistent. Okay, looking for a more extreme reading. All right, so anyway, that's absorption. Let me show you something about this with absorption too. This is kind of important. Is go back up into here and your configure add-ons and then go to absorption indicator here. You know, you have your settings in here. This market pulse tool here for the absorption will only work off of the settings in here. So this is they work together, right? This is something unique in here. So it's an indicator within an indicator, basically, where it's based off of the settings you have here in absorption first, and then it collects a look back period of 5 minutes of that, and we'll spit it out here in market pulse. Let me know if you have any questions on that, because that's important. It's a great feature to be able to filter here. Trader Map Pro. We're going to have one for stops and icebergs, I think, through the absorption and sweeps in here as well. So you can do all of your filtering in here in this add-on to output into the Market Pulse add-on. All right, now maybe you don't want to see, like I took away the icons in here, okay, because look how many I have in here, right? And also showed the trade dots in here. Okay, so look at all these add-ons in here now, or you know, for absorption. It's overwhelming. Okay, I'm not using the filter up here. I put in 10, so what you can do is just deselect show add-ons, show volume, and then down here show trade dots. Okay. And then you have a clean chart, but you still have market pulse here. And market pulse for absorption. All right. All right, let's go through another one in here. Let's go through the sweeps and go through some use case scenarios of those. So look how this would have, you would have followed your plan, that you would have taken some profit down here on that absorption and not had to take a stop loss at 0 on the way back up. And in fact, there was another, I saw there was another market pulse sell signal in here. In fact, let's just turn it back on for a minute because it was pretty nice. Nice. There we go. Yeah. So we would have, we were, the use case scenario was we're looking for not a signal in here in market pulse. Okay. We're looking for it at the bottom edges. We're looking for the market pulse tool absorption and then taking profits at those areas. So we're trading it down into that That's what we're looking for in here. And then you could also, and then we see the move back out, and then you see the selling absorption up in here, okay, which could be another, potentially another trade, okay, and trade it back down to the next level of absorption, which would be here, right? So that would have been a trade from, you know, look at beautiful exhaustion right in here. So from about 74 on down to about right here, 60, let's just call it 70, right here. Okay, so it's a 6-point move, right? Just based off of what we're looking at here in this absorption indicator. Luis, you're doing really great work over there, answering all these questions. Thank you so much. Yeah, Luis, you're welcome. Yeah, this is what these webinars are all about. Reading, you know, the order flow in here, and going through these use case scenarios, and starting to understand these elements on the chart. What are they telling us here? Okay, some of these add-ons are giving us a little deeper insight. I really like that volume pressure, looking at multiple instruments or a synthetic instrument. I think that it's something I was looking really forward to when they released it. So we're here, we got it now. Let me go through another one in here, the sweeps indicator. Okay, so again, you can filter it in here, and also with the visuals in here, I have it deselected so it won't show up on the screen. All right. Okay, so then let's go to Market Pulse, and then let's just we'll just use the same one here and recreate it here. We'll look at sweeps pressure. Okay, and just click play. What's that? I also want to show another one here because they both the sweeps and absorption also have imbalance. So we'll click on that. Sorry, we'll have to create a new one, and then we'll click on that as well. And we'll look at sweeps and balance. Sweeps pressure. At ES. S. Okay. So we got two here. They're both doing very similar things. Just the output is different here. Okay, and then let's go to the subchart here, and you can see that I have the delta here. Okay, for the oh, this is volume pressure. I'm sorry, guys. We'll have to do this again. Volume pressure, sweeps pressure. Yeah, that's correct, Alois. So the Market Pulse volume pressure algo is part of the MBO bundle, and the the price change one is for free that you can get, and then all these new ones here are in beta. So we're gonna give them to you for free if you want to be part of the Bookmap Junior Academy and apply. Okay, so anyway, now let's take a look at these two here. So we have the sweeps pressure and sweeps imbalance, right? And what are we looking at? Okay, so we're looking at when it's the same as the let's take away the delta here and just look at the output. These two. Okay, so we're looking for when there's a book sweep. Okay, this is very similar to, and show it here, very similar to the absorption indicator, except one big difference, and I have it in auto mode. This is why we're not getting any or output. Let's put in we'll put 10 again. We'll get a lot more now. Okay, there we go. All right, so where did we get order book sweeps and identify those? Well, we had absorption here, but then the sweep continued on lower here. So there's your book sweep here, which we know was a stop run. And then we have a book sweep here, which we also, well, we can verify is a stop run. And there it is. So stop run 1 and then stop run 2. Okay. All right. Small sweep to the upside here, not much. Nothing significant at the moment after this big move to the downside. Daniel, the Market Pulse tool is also available from the marketplace in Bookmap. So go to bookmap.com. Here, I'll show you. And then you can go here to More button, and then go to the add-ons. As part of the MBO bundle, just the volume pressure, as Alois had mentioned. But we can scroll down here a little bit, or you can do a search. Yeah, let's do a search. Market Pulse. Okay, and it's right here. Okay, so it depends on which kind you get. So let's click on it and go to the details here. All right. So it's $34 a month for the bundle. And these are the ones that you get in here. Okay, they're listed. It's $17 for crypto a month, right? And it'll show you also you get the same thing basically. But these are all the algos that you get for the bundle. All right. Now again, like we said, if you want to be part of this academy, you want to join this, we're going to give it all of them, the ones that are in beta right now, as well as all the other ones. You'll get access to it. It'll be a limited time, but you know, go for it. Play around with it. This is your moment. All right, let's see if we get another sweeps right now. Interesting. For the buy side, they kind of swept it a little bit, hit some sweeps up above here, and then I'm looking for the big sweep though down into 62 and 60. Yeah, I have a really low setting on the sweeps, as you can see here. Okay, so top of this range, they're just kind of knocking out some stops up in here, it looks like. Now we're looking for the move, right? Now we're looking for the sellers, and let's see if we can get to 62. Now, again, like, you know, one of the use case scenarios in here, you'll have to play around with it to find what your use case scenarios are. But we got some output right here. Okay, but we're looking for the bigger move to the downside, right? This is just a kind of a pullback, and we're looking down. And then in here would have been in the top of the range in here. Okay, but you're looking for the sweep lower, so you can trade it down toward the sweep and exit on the sweep. Okay, verify the sweep and exit on the sweep. So enter on the sweep, this little sweep to the upside, you're at the top of the range. Great, what a great entry. And then you'd be looking for taking your profit at the bottom, or through the bottom of the range, basically. Okay, now you would have been stopped out on this one, but you wouldn't have lost any money on it. It would have been a break even, because you're looking for it to follow through, and if it doesn't, it's not ready. Anyway, guys, it's not a trade recommendation. It's not a trade recommendation room. these are just some use case scenarios to consider for this new tool here. I'm really excited about it, as you guys can tell. Like it's just offering the insights to these little peaks, or you know, top and bottom of ranges in here. Okay, and then for example here, did we get one in a sweep to the upside? No, we didn't, right? Okay, so we're looking for exhaustion. Let's see if we get in the order flow here. We're looking for our sellers, and then you would look for in here getting involved and then exiting on the sweep. Okay, so now we're looking for the sweep here to justify getting out. Now it's starting to pick up, but nothing yet. Okay, anyway, these are just some ideas again for using this tool. Sweeps and absorption via the market pulse tool. Okay, now sweeps and absorption are free. They come part of Global Plus. So you subscribe to Global Plus, you'll get the sweeps and absorption. You just won't get the market pulse tool. That's all. Okay, and again, like this could have been a really small loss or a break even here, because you're looking for that sweep to the downside. Well, okay, it came to the top of the range here. Now you can still look for it and trade it back down here again. Okay, so this is a stop run, a book sweep. Okay, but now we want to look at the order flow. Order flow is actually pointing to coming up to about 69 or so. Okay, on the bid, finding buyers, they're starting to pull on the offer up here. Okay, so I'd have to wait for those sellers to come in, and I'd have to see kind of a flip here in that order flow to look for justifying getting involved after that book sweep to the upside. Okay, so I'd look for maybe some exhaustion here, some selling here, pulling on the bid, adding on the offer, right? And then I have something more. I have the behavior of other traders to give me insight that this is more likely to unfold to the downside. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get these sellers now. And then you're looking for the book sweep into this area down here. All right, guys, stick with me for just a few more minutes. I want to go through one more since I started late here. Sorry about that. I had a lot to go through. Let's go through just Floyd, the dollar's moving. Okay. Okay, you took a massive loss in there, Rob. You made you made a mistake though. Well, that's what great. That's what you learn from. Totally. Looks like some good stuff in here on. Yeah, guys, you should come over to the Discord room as well. We've got some pretty good content in here. Looking for the using some of the volume pressure in here, as you guys can see, volume pressure and balance. So this is I don't know who it is. C is going by we're here in Discord. Some really nice stuff though. Identifying some of these areas and looking for some of these moves to unfold using the market pulse tool. Right? That's why we're here. That's what we're here for in this Discord, to learn from each other. And this is great. This is great stuff. All right, let's see. Did we get our sweep? Yeah, we did. All right. So what did we were looking for, like in here someplace, right? Someplace in here, because we had the sweep to the upside. Got to get sellers over here. We kind of have them here. It's not bad. and then looking for that sweep to the downside to exit. And there's your exit into here. Okay, it's going to be absorption as well, but it's also a sweep. All right, so not bad, not bad. Now, if you're still looking for continuation because it's a downtrend, then great. Like you can start to build your position. Okay, maybe take some off. And then maybe look for, adding into this again, or maybe it's another trade idea altogether. Maybe you do take all off, and then you're looking for repeating again the same idea. Okay, wait for it to come back up, wait for exhaustion, and then look for it curl back around, and then look for exiting on the sweep to the downside. Okay, now in a range-bound market, you would trade it differently or treat it differently. In a range-bound market, you don't have to do that. You can look for sweeps on each side and then look for the move back in. So for example, in a range-bound, which maybe we'll see this happen here, but a range-bound environment, you'd be looking for this as being the trap, buyers coming in here, and then the potential move back up to the top of the range here. All right. And then exiting on a sweep up into this area up here. Okay, now that would be more of a range bound, but this is a trending market right now. As we went through the whole webinar and talking about these tools, and we didn't even look at the higher time frame. And there's still one more to go through. So let me quickly show you this. Stick with me for just a minute longer. There's another one in here, a little more complex, and it's excellent though. So we'll get rid of all of these here, and we're going to add a new one. And this is the support and resistance. Okay, we've got two again. There's an imbalance as well as just support and resistance. Okay, one more. All right. Now this one's, like I said, it's a little more complex. It's showing us order book imbalances. And once it loads here, we'll show a little bit. And we'll get rid of the delta here. All right, we'll start with this one in the subchart, this one here. Okay, the support and resistance. Now note that this output looks very much like the volume pressure, but it is different here. It's very different. Note that there's the different colors in here. This is a dark red and it's a negative number here. This is a light green and it's a positive number. Now watch this though. These will change. The sellers will become there right there. It becomes a positive number and it's a bright red, whereas the buyers became negative and became a dark green. Right. So we're giving two different we're giving four altogether, four different outputs in the widget here. Okay. Now the subchart is giving the output for just buyers or sellers in here. All right. Now, how is this working? Let's go through the settings. Okay. This is different because we have an additional setting in here, half-life period and the intervals. Okay, so we have the training period, a look back period of 5 minutes based on 5 minutes of data constantly. The half-life period, all the same as in all the other algos, but this one here, the half-life of the intervals. Okay, this is very much like our imbalance indicator we've had for years. Okay, you guys might recall how that works. It's based off of, well, we see here the setting is based on 4 here. What that means is every 4 ticks here, the first 4 are going to be double as in importance in weight compared to the next 4. Okay, so every 4 ticks, there'll be a half-life kind of drop off Okay, and the next 4 after that will be another half of the previous 4. Right. So what that means is that it's like a you know, kind of like an exponential moving average. The data that is close here in the order book to the current market, best bid and offer, is going to be more important than those away from it. Now you have a sliding scale in here, though. You have a setting, so you play around with it. In fact, I've been playing around with this, and I haven't come up with a good use case scenario, but maybe I will for tomorrow. We can look at maybe 2 in here. So I'm going to actually widen this out and make the first 16 levels more important. Let's go actually with 16 is fine. Okay. And then let's see what we get. Now, that, then I'm going to add a new one in here. So then I'll explain what I'm. So we'll go support and resistance here. Yes. It's up here. And we'll keep this one at 4. But let's play. All right. So now what I'm looking at here is this one is the inside market. Yeah, this one is the inside market. This one is not. This is a bigger range in here. Okay, so bring down the volume a little bit. All right. So what I'm looking, or what I can compare here now, is a larger order book compared to a smaller order book. So and then let's try to get some insight in here. So I'm looking for a book skew, right? Like was one of our things that we're looking for. Like this breakout here, we have a book skew. Look at them bidding up here. Look at them pulling on the offer here. Okay, now we're looking for, we know this one's longer term book on the left, and then on the right is a shorter term book. Okay, so let's look for now maybe when we get maybe a signal on both. Or maybe the shorter time frame, our book, will maybe look for that just to trade it up to this range here. Okay. And now let's see what happens up here. Are they going to pull more on the offer? Well, let's see. Let's hear it. Not much. Okay, let's see here. We got looking for this order book and balance in here to give us some insight. Now note how you can use this also with volume pressure, for example. Okay, we're just using the support and resistance or imbalances in here right now. Give us insight. Now they're pulling across and they're adding on the bid, pulling on the offer, adding on the bid. Seems like we're getting buyers now. All right. Well, let's see then. If they're going to do that and we're getting buyers up at a higher level, then let's see if we can get back up into like maybe this 66 or 67.5 area. Okay, based on listening here to this order book imbalances. So a skew in the order book, and we're looking now even more up here, right? And so we should see this actually go on this higher, larger order book here. We should see maybe some a bigger imbalance. There we go. Okay, now this is just order book, right? And price is going up. Anyway, guys, play around with it again. This one is you know, something I've been trying to find some really good use case scenarios for. I would love to see what you guys come up with. And that's why we want to give you access to this. So see what you come up with. And we hope that you find this really useful. All right, so again, Bookmap Academy meeting tomorrow, 4 p.m. And if you're interested in that and you want access to this tool as well, then you've got to sign up here at the Bookmap Academy page here. I'll put this into the chat for you, and sign up at the bottom. Right, and then you'll need to come over to Discord, and we need to capture you. So you'll sign up here and then come over to Discord, and then we'll capture your Discord username as well. Okay, and that's where the meeting is going to be as well. It's going to be over there in Discord. All right, so good stuff here, pulling on the offer, adding on the bid, getting our buyers in here, and looking for this move higher. All right, and seems to be working out. I'd be taking my profit up in here due to the swing and this reading that we heard in the order flow here with the market pulls. Add minimum partial profit. Okay. All right, guys, we kind of went through a lot of stuff in here, rifled through it. We'll go through more on this, but yeah, pretty excited about these new tools in here. And you can see where this is all going in terms of how this is going to be able to allow you for back testing and maybe even some trade automation in the future. Right, so we're using this kind of new technology, being able to filter through one add-on and input and then output into another add-on. It's great. It's kind of a big step here. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. We'll please hit the like button, and we will see you at the Bookmap Academy meeting tomorrow. That's the next meetup at the market close, and then else Friday at this time, 10 a.m. East Coast time. All right, because tomorrow we have Jay Trader going through the stocks, and then on Thursday we have Scott Pulcini at this time going through the futures. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day, and we'll catch up with you hopefully tomorrow at the meeting. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.